Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the 7th Day Comic Book News video recap video. It's a working title for Geek Rest. And I'm Adam from Geek Rest with,
Aaron from a comic show.
Yeah.
At a comic shop.
At a comic shop. And it's been a slow week.
Well, there was that big
news
that, everybody knows that taxes are going to go up on capital gains,
right.
starting the new year. So, because Obama's most likely going to get reelected and the Bush tax cuts are going to expire. So, capital gains are going to go up from 15% to about 23%. So what does George Lucas do?
How do you save $1?
Going up that much percentage points on $4 billion is a big deal. So obviously he had to rush and, he didn't care about, Sandy hurricane going on. He had to rush and make sure this is finalized before the end of the year.
Yeah,
Let's go.
That's true. He moved it over to Eisner. But that was huge. Star Wars being bought by Disney, and not just any little part of it, everything.
Lucasfilm.
George Lucas, everything. Did he get the ranch? I don't know. That's hot property right there.
Wow.
And of course, they slipped out that they're going to be making a new trilogy of Star Wars movies, which, it's surprising that it's coming, but it's not surprising that they have ideas for
7, 8, 9. Lucas has always said.
And look at that.
What the fuck? I'm sorry, man.
Dude.
Should we start over? Well, ever since I was a kid, I do remember him saying that there was 3 trilogies, and they started in the middle, and that there was going to be a 7, 8, 9. And I know Dark Horse did a lot of stuff beyond the original trilogy.
Huge canon.
But when Dark Horse was doing that, there was always this little patch of time that they couldn't touch because that was going to be that 7, 8, 9.
Right.
Now, I don't think George Lucas actually wrote out those at all.
No.
Because,
no.
He couldn't have
George,
written out the
believe he did.
prequel before he did, New Hope to
Right.
Jedi, because there was some things that were just weird. There's some things that just didn't jive. But bottom line is, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about, Disney bought Marvel and we got the Avengers.
Yeah.
So I think they know what they're doing when it comes to big budget movies that make the fan base happy.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, they know it, but it pretty much broke the internet in half.
Yes.
And everyone I still don't get it. I don't get all the George Lucas hate. I get it, but
Well, what I saw a lot too was Disney hate, and it's like, do you not realize that Disney was, Pixar as well? Disney was the Avengers movie. Disney is like this new Marvel renaissance in movies. Disney didn't screw up Marvel Comics at all.
Hell no.
Marvel now is awesome. I don't see that. I understand that Disney was, this kids line and this girl line. I understand that that's the historic thing of Disney, but
Princess.
What? They're a huge company, and they do gay days. I love gay days at Disney.
Gay days is
but,
cool.
basically these people hating on Disney are homophobic then.
That's how it works. That's how it works. But how many flops does any other movie studio have?
Oh, yeah.
In comparison to Disney and.
I understand Disney had Tron didn't do as well as they liked, but then they bought Marvel.
But they're still fans. They're still rabid fans. Of it
Yeah.
Too. So it's
yeah.
not
and that
flops.
John Carter didn't do well, but
Yeah.
Okay.
That's because they reached high though, so it was just. It's still, I don't know. It's impressive. Everything they do is impressive, and the fact that it's all under one roof now, Marvel. It's just, the world is limitless right now. I think for the possibilities.
There won't be any more red tape at Hollywood Studios. The former MGM go to Star Tours. It'll just probably be insane.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the Star Wars days at Hollywood Studios now. How great that's going to be this year. I'm going.
So I have hopes for their films, but they bought everything. Video games, they're definitely going to branch on the television. One of the big things though with comics, especially, is like you said, Dark Horse Comics.
Yes.
For 20 plus years, they've been handling a lot of canon
and doing a lot of great stuff. Things that
fantastic work.
That they've made action figures of. Things that have really built the mythos.
Yeah.
And just really great stuff. And do we want to see that continue? Of course, some of these creators could just move on to Marvel publishing the Star Wars. The same way that when Disney had Boom, some of the creators, like the dude doing Muppets and whatnot, moved into Marvel Muppets instead. Marvel hasn't done all that much that Boom was doing. Boom was doing a lot of great stuff, like DuckTales and Darkwing Duck, and some crazy awesome stuff that just folded because of the deal. I hope Dark Horse has a longer contract. They definitely have a much longer history.
Yeah, I mean, I'm under the impression. I mean, they had that new Star Wars series coming out in January, which is everyone was excited for.
It's Brian Wood. It's great art. Alex Ross covers. Carlos D'Andia on the interiors, and it's after New Hope.
Set only after the New Hope.
After New Hope,
ignoring everything else.
None of their legends haven't been built yet. Empire doesn't happen. Return of the Jedi doesn't happen. And it's basically the Empire had this setback with the Death Star blowing up, which,
right.
Excuse me for a second here because I'm going to make a metaphor. It's like the Twin Towers being knocked down.
No, that's where he went? That's just like that.
Just imagine 2 X-Wings went into the Twin Towers. That's like the Death Star blowing up because that's the Empire and these are the rebels.
Right.
Like take all the ideology of Islam and us out of it.
Right.
Now, didn't America go and crush them in Afghanistan? I mean, freaking go there and crush them immediately. I know quagmire since then, but crush them. So the Empire's response to the blowing of the Death Star is going to be brutal in this Brian Wood book, and they're going to be really this ragtag group of revolutionary outlaws.
Yeah.
So I'm totally excited about it, and if this deal does anything to F that up, I am going to be irate.
Yeah. I'm assuming as long as the contracts were initially planned for extending, like, they're going to let it ride out. But when the contracts are up, they're going to take it back.
Most of the time it's like that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I know that's what's happening with Star Wars, The Clone Wars, the animated series. That's on Cartoon Network. I know that as soon as that's up, they're moving it over to Disney XD. Like, they gotta. Like, that's definitely going to be part of their animation. So
right.
Disney's bringing everything in. And then another thing to rile you up about, Jamie Foxx as Electro.
Right.
This is the news that's coming out on the web. A lot of cryptic hints, nothing official, of course, but you know how they do.
I read he's in talks or whatever. I'm not the biggest Jamie Foxx fan. I liked the first Spider-Man. I really did. I know some people were on the fence about it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Jamie Foxx, he could do a good job, but he's
a great actor. His personality in real life just seems to get ahead of him when it comes to forming an opinion about him. So I mean, he's got the chops to act, but everyone's like, everyone goes back to the whole like, he's black, Electro is a white guy, and like, Electro is electric. I mean, that's not like an issue.
Yeah, there's plenty of
Don't
precedent.
worry about that.
Plenty of precedent for black people having electric powers. There's static, there's black lightning.
Black lightning.
So I mean, it's not that
pool.
outside of their wheelhouse. Anyway, I'm sorry.
So it's not don't get your panties in a wad yet, but it's interesting casting. And at the end of the post-credits scene, in Amazing Spider-Man, I always thought from the beginning that they were hinting that was Electro in the room, with the whole lightning flashes and stuff. But so it would have been cool if they put Rhino in there in some way, with the whole Oscorp gene splicing thing. They could have gone that route, but
like the whole animal totem things have like all these animal villains that they have.
Yeah, that's cool. A little flesh it out a little bit. But Electro and Jamie Foxx in living color.
I don't know.
That's it. And not to get into too much, but Bryan Singer is now directing Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
welcome back to the X-Men franchise.
Hopefully you learned something from,
You don't like Superman, do you? That's where you're going.
Yeah. I mean, he did varying degrees of success on the first X-Men's,
definitely.
You have to remember that when they came out, the only new superhero movie we had was The Matrix. So I mean,
true.
Right?
That's
Spider-Man hadn't
how
come out
it
yet
came,
when the first X-Men came out. I mean, it came out and it was like they're all dressed in black leather and it was all like, oh man, it looks like The Matrix, cool.
Yeah.
And I think he did a reasonably good job at modernizing and bringing the X-Men to a modern audience through the movie.
Yep.
Things got really convoluted and whatnot. X-Men 2, I like the opening scene with Nightcrawler better than the whole rest of the movie.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was badass. But he has the chops, he can do it. I mean, he can nail it. I loved the First Class, and I wish that it was going to be a reprise of that director. But
what's it? Bryan Singer mentions all the time in interviews. He wants to take notes from. He wants to take the examples led by Marvel with their continuity and their broad cinematic universe, putting elements in, connecting the movies, basically bridging them together. So with him coming in to direct, and Wolverine coming out, and whatever they got in the future, he's the man that I would like to start connecting dots and piecing together
Right.
these movies because Marvel's got it, or Disney, should I say?
Yeah, if he has the oversight and he's doing this, one thing that I just think that he does a little too much for me is he takes a theme and just beats it like a dead horse.
Yeah.
Like with Superman, it's like, he's like Jesus, he's the Messiah, all from the opening thing with Jor-El's like, and I sent my only begotten son so that he will not perish and have everlasting life. And then it's like, oh, he's dead, he got pierced in the side like Jesus. Oh, the tomb's empty like Jesus.
He did get pierced in the side like Jesus.
And then the hospital room was empty.
Yeah, I know.
And then with the X-Men, obviously, it was, mutants are like gays and, on and on. And that was a good metaphor. That worked. That worked. But, I just hope he chooses the right metaphor to beat, the right theme to beat like a dead horse in this one.
Days of Future Past. I trust.
I enjoy
that.
I enjoy his movies by and large, but I didn't like Superman really.
First half was golden.
Sorry.
Second half kind of got sloppy. What's it? Marvel also announced, what's his name? Frank Grillo, I believe it is coming in to play Crossbones in the Captain America sequel. And I guess a lot of people may not know who Crossbones is who don't read the comics.
He's a racist.
He's kind of racist.
He's a vile racist.
He's Red Skull's hound dog.
Yes.
He does his dirty work. But he played a huge pivotal part in the whole death of Captain America.
If Red Skull is Ra's al Ghul, then he is Bane.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And then Red Skull's daughter Sin is Talia.
Right.
So
which should definitely be brought into the fold.
Yes.
At one point, but that's cool. See where that goes. Could also dip into the Avengers. Who knows how that'll play out?
Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
Crossbones. Google it. And this is cool. I just slipped by last week actually, but Valiant Comics. Interesting choice. They're sponsoring the US Luge team for the Winter Olympics, and they, of course, as a sponsor, give them like $200,000. I don't know how much. It's like the low six figures.
Yeah.
And they're redesigning all their uniforms in the theme of Exo Manowar.
Right.
Now,
So it's the gold and blue, futuristic, metallic
helmet,
crazy.
all the elements are right there. People say that might be silly, but as far as marketing goes, that's brilliant.
I think it's
That's
cool.
really smart. I think they're
if
really
they have
cool
the money, I
looking,
mean, most companies, comic companies, seem to spend the money inside the current comic industry of
Right.
comic news and spend their marketing money inside there, and they're spending their money way outside of that.
for a huge audience. Like
That's-
everyone's going to see that. Everyone's going to see what's up with those costumes if they don't
That's
know
cool.
anything about comics, and then they'll learn.
I'm happy that they're doing it with the Olympics because then that's worldwide too, and they can sell the digital worldwide, But also I like that because Olympic fans are not your stereotypical beer gut football fans that if one of these independent publishers did something to sponsor like football or baseball or something, those people would be like, oh, no, comic book, funny books, Biff Bam Pow, get me another beer out of the fridge. I mean, it's like...
it would sell...
But
yeah.
The Olympics, that's a little bit more highbrow.
Right.
And this is like a highbrow sci-fi adventure book, and the entire Valiant line is more highbrow.
Yeah.
I think that... I hope it plays out well.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of the smartest moves I've seen come out of them, and they've been coming out with some really smart moves since their relaunch this
Even
summer.
just some technical stuff behind the scenes of how they incentivize stuff to retailers is brilliant, because no other publishers are really doing the things they're doing, and it's just like, why don't we try this?
Right.
Why not?
Yeah.
It's
so
cool.
That's cool, and look for that, in the winter. But the suits look good. That's fun. That's fun. I think that's cool. I want one for.
So what's going on now?
Marvel Now. I'm fearless. You fearless? They're still
Yeah.
coming out. These one title card teasers. I
Yeah.
thut they were done. Fearless.
Marvel Now's fearless. They'll solicit this stuff without any pages turned in.
No
They're
fear.
Uncanny Avengers 2? We're fearless. Let's solicit 4.
What's fearless? What could it be? Everyone immediately jumped to Daredevil, of course.
Man Without Fear.
Right.
And, everyone does not want weight off of it.
Understandable. I don't think it's Daredevil though.
Wade can do both Hulk and Daredevil at the same time,
Yeah. He's doing like a ton of other things too.
Yeah.
Dabbling, but I don't think it's Daredevil. I think it has something to do with fear itself.
Which was that Fearless miniseries
same
that was
writer.
also written by Bunn. So,
Yeah.
which
And-
heavily featured Valkyrie. It was
Right.
It was a big, heavy female book. With like
The
heroines.
Liberator team
Yeah.
at the end.
So
that's
that might be very well what it is.
Pretty
And
sure. I don't know.
with a female Daredevil on the team.
That'd be cool. Where is
Lady
the female
Bullseye
Daredevil?
becomes Lady Daredevil.
And then how much? I mean, like, what else? What else is there you want to talk about?
I don't know, man.
Axe Cop. We'll throw out that little Axe Cop.
Axe Cop is fun. I love the little kid. I see him at San Diego Comic Con. He's a cute
Was he
little
there?
guy. Yeah, just there, just
Of course
talking
you brought
crap.
him out.
He's hilarious.
You should see it.
His brother's there sketching, and he's like holding court. And
Dude,
there's all
there's
these
gonna
like
be-
college age doofuses just like mesmerized by him, like me. I was just like, wow, this kid is awesome. But
They're gonna have legal issues when
If
that
you-
kid becomes of age. I'm
if
sure.
you haven't read Axe Cop, it is hilarious. Originally was written by a 5-year-old and drawn by like his 30-year-old half brother.
Yep.
But
built for animation.
it's totally random and totally good for today's short attention span,
Right.
20-somethings.
Oh yeah.
So
So I mean that's you'll see it. There's a little test reel that popped up online. Originally a webcomic.
was this written by a 5-year-old? You're like, yes, it was.
Yeah, it was.
And it's
Oh,
fun.
Shut you up. And yeah, Foxx, they ordered like 16 5-minute, like you said, just short little 5-minute episodes coming out next summer, and it's just fun. Can't be fun if you read the comics. What is it, Dark Horse? They're the ones who picked up
Yeah.
the print.
Yeah.
So check
Dark
that
Horse
out.
is smart like that.
Yeah, Dark Horse is cool. Just keep Star Wars trucking.
So I mean,
What's up?
there's stuff going on, and
Oh my God, you got stuff to talk about for sure with Star Wars. That's enough to keep you
yeah,
busy.
Star Wars is crazy.
But
I can't wait for Star Wars Celebration here in 2 years with a bunch of Slave Leia Disney princesses. I mean, that's
Dude,
really
there's a million dudes working on something.
that's gonna happen. I mean, when I was there was so many Slave Leias, it was ridiculous. And how many of these girls that are dressed like Slave Leia like the Disney princesses? And what's gonna happen.
I've seen some crazy art on the internet.
Right, you know what's gonna happen.
It's happening now. I'm going
No,
home right
it's
now.
gonna happen in real life.
Oh yeah,
Right now?
I'll pay for it. I mean, Disney's got my money. That's it. Nutshell, that's it. Weekly recap. Talk about all this stuff online. Please, Facebook and Twitter. Follow us as always, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, bye-bye.